Hi, if you're over the age of 40, I'd like to tell you there aren't enough jobs to go around, so you may want to listen. And my area of authority is that I work in HR, so I do know a little bit about the job market. But really, the reason why I wanted to do this video is because I came across a BBC article that's titled "There aren't enough jobs to go around for everyone," and really it's about the story of James Harrison, a young graduate from university who left university with really high hopes of landing a role in the sector that he trained in. He trained in law and is a barrister, but he couldn't even get a job as a barrister for the first 15 months. Now, there was another article by the BBC again titled "China's Overqualified Youth Taking Jobs as Drivers, Laborers and Film Extras." Now, see the situations of both articles really are down to struggling economies around the world. And in my opinion, how I think universities just keep churning out these graduates and millions of them every single year. That's not to say people should stop going to university, but they should go to university for courses that matter to society. It really does leave a sour taste to me for me in my mouth. So let me share my thoughts and opinions about these articles and their situations, because I feel the impact of these articles and the current situation both as an employee and as a mom myself. I'm an over 40 who's creating content on YouTube for over 40s who are looking to better themselves, create their best life, and ideally to make money on YouTube so that we can have this wonderful retirement in the near future. Now, the first thing is that as someone who works in HR, the current state of the job market is terrible, and that's to say the least. I cannot imagine what it must be like in another 5 years from today, what it will look like. You see, this James young person's experience is not unique. It really is not. And it's a true reflection of what the saturated job market is like. Now, I've noticed that having a degree does not guarantee a job. In fact, a few years back, very few people had BSc degrees as their first degrees, they had it. But now, I go through applications and I notice people have multiple masters and they're looking for jobs that are below those qualifications. They're struggling. People are really struggling. On the other hand, there aren't enough jobs to go around. I cannot speak for the commercial sector, but really, in the charity sector, it can be quite difficult to access funding. And because of this financial instability, creating jobs is very, very few and far in between, because they really have to manage the few funding that comes through, the traditional funding routes. They're not mostly for creating jobs, they're more for sustenance and overheads, the overheads that have already been incurred. So we don't know what's going to happen. The third is that the use of AI for job applications is becoming very problematic. Now I score through lots of job applications regularly, manually. I don't use an ATS, manually. And I can tell you the AI crafted CVs do not make sense. They are on the rise. 8 out of 10 CVs are crafted by AI nowadays. And the worst bit is that when you finally meet the person at interview, they don't match up to the application. They don't. So that's becoming problematic. I don't know what to do. The final point on that is that the lack of jobs on the market is also partly due to the older generations staying in work longer. Because we're all living longer, retirement age in the UK is now 65 for women, 67 for men. It's creating absolutely no room for the younger generation to come through and get into the workforce. And saying all that, I need to add something for those in my generations, for those who are over 40. I'm 42, by the way. If you're in your 40 and there are a few things that you can actually do when it comes to, career and having a better working life for yourself. I feel very passionate about people having better working lives. I think we spend a huge chunk of our lives at work. Why can't we craft a fulfilling working life? Not everybody can afford to live their 9 to 5. So while you're still in that rat race, Can you create something that is fulfilling, something that is impactful, something that is meaningful for yourself? If you can afford to go and ask for flexibility, demand flexibility, for goodness sake. Demand it. The first thing I want to share with you is use what you have. Yes, you don't need another degree unless you want to pivot in your career or find a job or a work that fits your lifestyle, that fits your skill set and fits your life mission. We have lots of over 40 who are unfulfilled. They are unhappy with the jobs they're in because it doesn't match their skill set. And I understand it. We need these jobs. We need jobs to put food on the table. We've got bills to pay. There's water running. It's not free. No, I understand that. And I'm speaking from a position of privilege, which I'm sharing that. But at the same time, I want to encourage people to try and look at their career with a different lens. I want you to look at it through a different lens and make sure it is fulfilling for you, because you've got a few more years. No, you've got a lot more years to go. If your HR is not telling you that, I'm here to tell you, I'm the HR for creators. You have a few more years to go. Why not make it fruitful? The second thing is, if you're stuck, you may want to specialize. Yes, take memberships, take membership courses, take qualifications, take certification. Maybe now is the time to go deeper into your role to make it exciting for you. Sometimes we don't even need to pivot. You just need to deepen the knowledge that you already have. So become a specialist in that role so that you are the go-to person. Then take it to somewhere else, to another company, and get paid more. Demand flexibility, probably go down one day and then use one day to focus on things that bring you joy, your hobbies. Start a YouTube channel, for instance. Find fulfillment in it. While we're living, we need to be living. We don't need to be existing because we're trying to work. We need to be living life at the same time. You want to take on mentoring as well. I know I sound very HR-ish and it's very cliche, but either you mentor somebody, especially this year in 2025, or you find someone to mentor you. I need you to go and share a life experience with somebody else. It will make a world of difference. You never know who you might get paired up with. It could be a reverse mentoring, which is where you probably are sitting higher and you're mentoring someone lower, or it's the other way around. Just find mentorship. Even if you can get mentored or mentor for 3 months this year, even if it's just 3 months, do it for the sake of it, for the fun of it. Do it for you, the future you that will come out of that experience. You need to learn from somebody else's experience. You can't be bottling it up. It doesn't work like that anymore. Number 4 is that I want you to go and have a life outside of work. Go and have a life outside of work. Now is the time to explore hobbies, your interests, so that you can become fulfilled, more fulfilled with, your life. Work will always be work, and you're meant to live it. In fact, you're supposed to carry your work on your shoulders. Once you leave work, you leave it there. Don't bring it home with you. Sometimes work will be fun. Sometimes it will not be fun. Other times it will be stretchy. That is what work is meant to be. If it's super comfortable and you're doing it, you will continue to do the same thing year after year and there will be no growth. That is not work. Work is meant to stretch you a little bit while still providing you just a little bit of comfort. Yeah. That is what it is. Number 5, I want you to embrace flexibility at work. I know I've been banging on about it, but start thinking about part-time. Life is for living. Start thinking about contracts if it can favor you. And I understand that some of us may need to move things around in life in order for this to happen, but let it happen. If you're going to do it, make sure you do it this year. You really need it. Find other times so that you can provide. You can use it to source joy outside of work. There are people who do remote work. Think remote work, for instance. There are people who work from the comfort of their homes and work for large corporations just online. They make that money online. If you can do your 9 to 5, you can bring down the hours, do it, and then use the remaining hours in the week to find things that spark joy for you. And also, I want to say, focus on well-being. With lots of content on toxic work environments, please find the time to look after your mental health because it matters. There's a lady I watch on YouTube. Her name is Jeannie Clark. If you have the time, go onto Jeannie Clark's YouTube page. She's over 40. I think she's in her 50s. She definitely looks very experienced. She knows what she's talking about. She has a great video on how to navigate toxic work environments. Go and watch it and take notes. I'm sure you'll learn a lot. And last but not the least, find fulfillment beyond work, beyond your 9 to 5 that gives you joy. Of course, you have to be willing to experiment, because it's not the first thing that you jump on. They'll probably do it for you. Go and find that thing for you outside of work. Create time for it, because you need it. I hope this helps an over 40 out there. And if you are younger, I am trusting that this is going to help you too. Until my next video.